place to catch up with friends, relax in a friendly atmosphere and enjoy great service and food, then Buckley's can offer a fun evening that the whole family can enjoy. In our bistro you can enjoy a selection from our extensive menu, including family favourites. On those sunny days, our alfresco is the perfect setting to enjoy a meal, catch up with friends, or watch your favourite sport on 2 large plasma TVs. Having a special occasion can be made easy by hiring our newly renovated function rooms. Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.
Yes, we'll certainly be talking to Neville a little bit more during the show, but before we do anything else, it's once again time for Dale's Under-18 segment. Here's Dale.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dick, and another interesting round of football, and I can say again, Dick, that the North Geelong Magpies remain still the undefeated side in the competition. They lead the competition by 2 clear games. But out at Belpost Hill 3-1-19 were defeated by East Geelong, who kicked 14-15-99. 3 goals to read for Belpost Hill and their best, Symes, McAuliffe and O'Mealy. For East Geelong, Tresize got 8 and Diaz with 2. And best players, obviously Tresize kicking 8, so a good effort, and got the best players with Quarrell and DeRosso. Belmont Lions, they had another win. They played against Winchelsea. They kicked 16-10, 106 to defeat Winchelsea 3-1-19. And goals there were Williams with 4, Alexander 3, Ellis and Boyd both with 2. Their better players, Silver Doherty was their best player with Veldhuis and Hunt. Out at Winchelsea, Bortavalis, I should say, Oliver and Kershaw, their goal kickers, with Woodger, Dennis and Linky, their best players. Corio again found some form and beat Inverleigh, who again, while their seniors have been going well, their juniors have also been playing very well over the last 3 or 4 weeks. But Corio 8-14-62 defeated Inverleigh 7-12-54. Dylan Taylor 5 again. So I reckon he's got about 20 odd goals in the last 3 weeks. Scott, Hunter and White each with 2 there. So 1 each I should say. Better players, Scott, Taylor and Cullen. And for Inverleigh, Muir was their best goal kicker with 2, and they had 5 other individual goal kickers. Better players, Muir, Sadler and McConaughey. Bannockburn, we travelled up to the Duck Pond and had a win. Beat the second top side, Dick, so that's pretty good for the Bannockburn boys. 9-4-58, defeated Werribee 7-12-54. Padani with 4, Chamberlain 2. Better players, LeMate, Padani and Lucas. For the home side, Werribee, Gamble, Hickey, Doherty all got 2 each. Better players, Gamble, Davis and Steele. And out at North Geelong 14-22, 106 defeated Thompson 1 goal, 2-8. And that's a pretty big result because Thompson, the week before, when we played them 2 weeks ago, they were a pretty good side. Goals to North Geelong, Marshalsea 4, Eels 3, Young and Kenyon 2. Better players, Ricketts, Marshalsea and Perry. Marnie was the sole goal kicker for Thompson. Better players out there were Rockhow, McMahon and Gordon. So, again, some interesting round of football, and I think North Geelong and Werribee will renew acquaintances this week, Dick, so that should be a good game of football.
Indeed it will, Dale. Well, as we said this afternoon, a huge round of GDFL footy coming up, and of course none bigger than the 94.7 FM match of the round. It's the North Geelong Magpies up against, as Dale said, the boys from the Duck Pond, Werribee Centrals. And of course Werribee Centrals become a bit of a giant killer of late, and the North Geelong Magpies, well, they were travelling well 5-zip, and now they've just lost 2-zip in the last couple of weeks. And I know Frank Foppiani is looking forward to having a much big turnaround in form. Dale, can the North Geelong Magpies get up and win this one, or is it going to be 3-zip in a losing situation?
Look, I suppose it's hard to see, Dick, because Werribee over the last 3 weeks have been probably as good as anything going around, although they beat Anarchy out there. They kicked 11 goals in the last quarter. The week later, they had Winchelsea up there. They kicked 10 goals in their last quarter, and their last half of football on the weekend was pretty good. And I know they kicked Bannockburn kicked 7 goals to 2 in the first quarter, then they kicked 10 in the next 12. So again, like Frank and the Werribee side, both sides are very fit, very prepared to run. And I think North Geelong, if they could play 4 quarters of that sustained football they played in that first half, that would give them a much better chance. They're good players on Saturday. It was pleasing to see Fletcher back in the side. He hasn't been, I don't know whether he's been playing, but he provides a lot of run from that centre wing and makes it a lot easier, especially when the ball being delivered into Todd Elsey the way it was. And I think that was the difference between 2 weeks ago against Bannockburn and this week. Jared Bryant was also a good player on screen there. You can see him kicking the ball down. Kingwell, for a young kid, that was his second game, and I'm glad Frank persisted with him in the game because he was also very good. And Van Creeken gives him a lot of firepower up forward. Only small, but does get in amongst the goals. And look, be a great game of football. If we can see something like we saw last week out there, I'll be very happy. North Geelong at home, look, we'll need to find just a little bit extra up forward. Matheson was great. They're going to need a bit more support there for Kane Swinnerton in the ruck. If they can find someone else to go with him, I think North Geelong will have some luck. But at this stage, Werribee might just get over the top, Dick.
Jake, not very often a side's going to lose and kick 21 goals and have the goal kicker or the full forward booting 8. So big improvements this week expected.
You'd think so. Werriby's an interesting side, really. I suppose being down in Werribee, they always seem to slip under the radar, and we sort of thought, they were a chance for finals and they were just plodding along. But I think they're currently sitting third on percentage at the moment, and they've only lost 2 games, and you can't help but be impressed by that. And I suppose if North Geelong really, they've had 2 chances against two of the better sides in the league, and I suppose if they really want to get themselves the label of being one of the premier sides in the competition, they'll have to beat Werribee this week at home. And the way Werribee's been playing, I suppose Anthony Kitchen's been the big factor up forward. He's kicked a bag nearly every week this season, so they'd have to stop him, you'd think, if they were going to be any serious chance. But the way they played last week in patches against Thompson suggests that they are a very good side and more than capable of winning, particularly at home. But I'm with Daly. I think Werribee just might have the goods for them at the moment, the way they're playing.
Neville, we commented at the start of the show just how even the competition is this year, and of course Werribee off to a slow start, and all of a sudden now this takes on the show of a really big game.
Yes, it does, Dick, and Werribee have done well over the last 4 or 5 weeks, because as you said, they did lose the first game and they dropped one, might have been in the second game actually as well. But I think the only difference between these two sides would be the home ground advantage for North Geelong. And I think North might get over the line.
Dale, Frank Foppiani pulled the boots on last week. Decided improvement, no, not a decided improvement, not probably the way to put it. You could tell there was experience on the ground, particularly the way he delivered the ball to the forward line.
Yeah, look, I think he's a bit like Christian Holland when he came back. I know he hasn't been out of the game all that long, and he has been training, but he just wanted to do things, and I don't think his legs have actually been able to pick him up. It's just different to go back into a game situation. So he will be benefited from that game, and North Geelong will definitely be benefited from that game. The other player we did mention there was Brady Watts in the middle of the ground. Gee, he does a lot of bullocking work in the middle of the ground, and for such a young kid, he's matured beyond his age. And I thought North Geelong have got a great future out there with all their kids they've got coming through. So that's a bonus. But as you said, Dean Keisha, goal kicker up forward. He's a good young kid, good strong pair of hands, and he was obviously a real handful for the Bannockburn backline last week. So 2 sides evenly matched. This will go right down the wire.
Be interesting to see who'll actually be on, who'll mind Elsie, and of course who's going to mind those 2 big gun forwards at Werribee Centrals as well. As you say, Keisha and Kitchen, they share it between them, don't they?
Well, you know Matheson will go to one of them. If one of them gets on the top, then he'll swap over pretty readily. They do need to find that other, I suppose, backman down there. The 2 blokes, Wood, I think one of them went off last week with a hamstring injury, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back before the break. But look, they've got some blokes down there that can play well, but it's just difficult when you take Kane Swinnerton out of that back line. He had the centre back, and Matheson was usually a full back. They usually took the 2 best forwards. That's changed a little bit now for them, but their structure's still pretty sound. Pretty good.
Well, if you can't get out there this afternoon, make sure you tune in to 94.7 The Pulse, 1:30 this afternoon. You'll hear the big call from Dale Smith, Jake Burke, and, of course, Jason Doherty. It'll be a beauty, and, of course, catch all the scores from all the leagues and the AFL at 5 o'clock at the final siren. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about all the rest of the action coming up this afternoon, back after this.
The place to catch up with friends, relax in a friendly atmosphere and enjoy great service and food. Then Buckley's can offer a fun evening that the whole family can enjoy. In our bistro you can enjoy a selection from our extensive menu, including family favourites. On those sunny days, our alfresco is the perfect setting to enjoy a meal, catch up with friends, or watch your favourite sport on 2 large plasma TVs. Having a special occasion can be made easy by hiring our newly renovated function rooms. Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.